Like, find the stability in the instability of these next few days. So that is our theme today.
Good. That's a good one.
Stability within the instability, because we will always encounter that in
Right.
life, no matter what we do or what's going on. There's always instability, and if you're more sensitive, I'm pretty sensitive, it really affects you, right? It affects your nervous system. So that is our theme for today, and we're gonna drop in now. Just close the eyes and see if we can find some stability in the breath here. And you may notice that your bodies are feeling a little bit out of sync, because we kind of got catapulted into summer and our bodies aren't really adjusted. We're still in spring mode, right? So in our biological bodies, we're still kind of adjusting, and then all of a sudden this heat is here, so it really does impact us, and you may be feeling exhausted, trouble sleeping, just feeling very out of sorts. So let's find this time to bring us back into some rhythm and connecting with that smooth breath on the inhale and exhale. As we focus on it, it becomes more solid, more stable, softer around the edges. Good. Noticing the sits bones rooted on your cushion or the mat. Finding a little length in the spine, perhaps drawing up almost energetically through the crown of the head, as if someone was pulling on a cord and lengthening from the head. Good, and we're going to do a very short round of breath where we take 2 short staccato inhales through the nose and then a longer one exhaling through the nose. So it will look like this. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale, all through the nose. Let's take a cleansing inhale to begin. Exhale through the mouth. And now we begin. So inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale, all through the nose. Inhale, inhale, exhale. 2 short inhales, one longer exhale. We're not going to be with it too long, just another 30 seconds or so. Last round, and then let it go. Back to your natural pattern of breath. And that breath work helps us sustain a longer exhale, so you may be noticing that the exhale is smoother here now. Blink eyes open, and we set up for our first fascia activation. We're going to do gallbladder and liver, and then move into our yin postures. So last week we did deer pose as a yin posture. We're going to take that for our activation today. We're going to begin with the left leg forward, roughly parallel with your mat, and then allowing the right leg to just sink behind. And look down and see if your left knee is in line with your left hip. If it's out far to the left, then walk it back so it's closer, sort of right in front of the left hip. All we're doing here is pushing that left knee down into the ground. So you can push it down right at the start, feel that resistance down, and then take some dips down. Release it on the way up, pushing that leg into the floor and then dipping down. Good, coming back up, pushing that leg into the floor, and then dipping down, releasing the resistance on the way up. So this is activating that gallbladder meridian. I felt like I should probably be doing the summer meridians today, but we are technically in spring, so still sticking with gallbladder and liver here. Gallbladder is our structural component. It's physically metabolizes fat in the body, helps with proper digestion of fat, and secretes bile for digestion, supports the liver, and energetically in our body, it helps with decision making. It gives us that sort of chutzpah in life, in a sense, right? You think of the term gall, what gall they have. That comes from this energy of the gallbladder meridian being kind of bold. Good. Pushing down and dipping down. Last one. Good. Bring both legs up in front. Take a windshield wash through the hips. I was doing a lot of this over the weekend. I was filming the stretches and I'm sore today from it. I did 2 days in a row. And so now let's bring the right leg in front, roughly parallel here. Check before you set up that the right knee is in line with the right hip. So mine's a little to the right, or to the, yes, right now. So I'm gonna walk it back. And then the left leg comes behind. Pushing down before you even move, that leg pushes down into the floor. And you can come to little fingertips here and then dip down. Release, come up and dip down. And release. Good. Pushing down. And so the gallbladder is part of the wood element, and in Chinese medicine, the water element is winter, wood element is spring, fire element is summer, earth is late summer, and then metal is fall. So this time of year is considered the sprouting, right? Sprouting of our ideas, plans that we have started to develop in winter in that yin time, and now they start to shoot up, just like the shoots in earth, coming up, beginning their life. And then we find in the summer, those components of our life and in nature as well are at their full expression, right? That young energy that we're already feeling right now. Good, let's do one more here, resisting on the way down, finding where the resistance begins to stop, and then you stop and reset. Good. Coming back to our little windshield wash, hands behind the back. Just rinsing it out. Good, and then coming to knees and bringing the blocks with you this time. Bringing the blocks underneath the shoulders. We're going to begin sending our right foot out to the side. So left knee's on the mat, the right foot just comes right out to the side. You're squeezing the right foot into the mat as if it could squeeze into the left leg. So find that resistance of squeezing in, and then begin to send the hips back. Release it, come up. You guys have this now. I see you there on the, everyone's got it now, right? We've been doing it for a few weeks. We've got it, I love it. You're looking good, people. Looking good, polishing up those livers. Everyone's gonna have some happy livers. Squeezing leg in and sending hips back. And the liver is responsible for many, many things in the body. Detoxification, also processes histamine in the body in spring. So when we have things like seasonal allergies, liver energy is really helpful to tap into and help process that. Squeezing back. And then it's also the more softer side of the element. It's the yin component, and it's the more sort of creative, expressive part of the wood element. So you can think of a tree, and the trunk and the roots are the gallbladder, and then the leaves are the liver. Squeeze. Green food's so good for the liver, right? Last one, good. I'm losing count as I'm chatting about trees and green foods. Okay, just shake out the hips, sway side to side. And now we send the left leg out to the side. Same thing, finding that squeeze at the top before you move. Squeeze in, and then sending hips back. Squeezing in, sending hips back towards the heel. Finding that connection with the resistance at the beginning, and noticing as you sit your bum back towards your heel where you start to lose that connection. And that's your stop. And you release and reset. And when we continue to go into the range without the resistance, that's when we're overstretching usually. We're going into more of an end range. And that's when the joints hurt. That's when it goes into the joints, and we don't want that, which is often how we stretch, right? Unfortunately, we tend to go very deep into those end ranges. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Good. Come down to your seats. Just pause, let the breath regulate. Notice how that's feeling in the body. Close your eyes. Let that stable breath come back. And the gallbladder is connected to stability, so that might be what I need to do more of today, more gallbladder movements. Good. Blinking eyes open, and now if you have, I don't have my cushion and I'm going to reach for one, a soft cushion or blanket, just prop it under your seat. Lift up the pelvis, just a bit, right? Get that sits bones, those sits bones up on a soft cushion. And we're gonna begin with half shoelace here. So crossing the left leg over the right and noticing how that feels as you begin to cross. Maybe you wanna block under the bottom knee. I'm gonna take that today, take out the strain behind my knee because it was there. And then we're going to, as we hold, we're gonna take this version and then a twist. And we're just gonna do a little acupressure while we're here, because why not? Or here. So let's begin with the gallbladder meridian, which runs between the 4th and 5th toe, the little toes. So just sweeping your finger between those 2 toes down through that soft area. And see if you can find a little spot that wants some attention. And then just hold there. And if you'd like to hang the torso forward and prop your head, you can. I'm not going to today. I'm just going to sit upright and let this soft yin go into the hips and the knees. Just always reminding ourselves to find that, you know, I say it all the time. It's like a broken record, but hey, that's sometimes what yoga teachers do. And I'm a mom, so that's what we do. We're like broken records. So finding that first edge, right? Not busting through to find a deeper edge, but just like a little knock on the door. A little soft rap on the door, that's your spot. We're not trying to kick down the door. And I'm just holding my finger now on a spot and just staying with it for another few counts. I did find a little tender place, and I sometimes find this one a little bit difficult to connect with a spot. And if you don't, that's okay. You're just sort of receiving the energy. So you can think of receiving energy, and where there's a meridian, there's more than one. So we can think of offering energy to the body here. Good, and just release the finger and sweep that out a little bit. Good. And now we're going to begin to twist over the left side. So bringing your hands on fingertips over the left hip and just beginning to twist. And we stay here for a few moments. With the breath. Whenever we encounter a shape that we perhaps aren't super familiar with or don't especially love, the breath starts to become effective, right? So bringing back some soft, smooth breaths. Last inhale here, exhale, and now begin to walk the hands around to the right side, twisting on this side. And when you arrive here, if you like, you can bring the index finger and thumb on the spot between the big toe with your index finger and second toe, and then the thumb underneath. And finding a little spot here to land, just sweeping up and down between the toes and those soft bones, and then landing, and then you can kind of squeeze it from the underside with your thumb. This is a liver acupressure point here. Last inhale here. And on your exhale, release that pressure. Just sweep your fingers back and forth, moving that through. And then begin to unwind, coming back through center. Lifting with the right hand to release that foot, bringing it back long, closing eyes for a moment, just noticing any shifts, any fluid or flushes in the leg, around the hip, maybe in the knee. Good, and then we inhale and lift the right foot now and cross it over the left. And again, sensing into where you might need to prop or find support to soften the edge on this side. I'm just kind of propping the block under my left knee here. Good, and then we hold at center, option to drip down, let the head hang if you like, otherwise just staying right at center. And finding that spot between the little toe and the fourth toe now, just sweeping your index and maybe your middle finger through that spot. And then landing on anything that calls to you. It may not be especially noticeable, right? It's not like we always find this big trigger point, but just anything that speaks to you. And being with the silence and the peacefulness of this shape. Even within our yin poses, there's transitions, there's that movement, that change, and then there's that stillness or stability. Noticing any sensations in the knee, the foot, the right hip, and then beginning to just sweep that finger now, releasing the pressure, just sweeping the finger up and down, moving any chi. Inhale, we begin to twist now over the right leg, so turning body to the right and coming up on sort of spidey fingers. Checking in with jaw, right? The jaw, the eyes, where we often clench in any yin pose. It's a tendency to find softness in lots of places but the face, so just cueing to relax around the eyes, the jaw, even the ears, just cueing softness. On your exhale, we begin to walk our hands through center, coming over the left side again now, twisting to the left, and then reaching for that spot between the big toe and the second toe with your right hand. Maybe the index finger on top and the thumb on bottom. And yeah, I feel something tender there. Definitely. So landing on a spot and then perhaps squeezing from the underside as well. So the acupressure and acupuncture points are quite fascinating, right? Because it's like, why is a spot in my foot connected to my liver? And it's one of the theories is that as developing humans in the embryo stage, that the line of fascia connected to the organs begins to grow out through the organs. So like the heart begins to develop the fascial line down and through the arm. And so this is where the energy is running from that organ, and it begins at a very early stage. kind of makes sense when you think of signs of heart attacks, how people feel things in the arms, right? It makes sense that the heart meridian is connected down through the arms. Last inhale here, and exhale, and then just sweeping that finger up and down, letting go and letting that chi move through. And then unwinding back through center and extending that leg long, closing the eyes for a moment. Good. We're going to use our bolster now. I think I did not mention that we're using a bolster, but we are. So if you need to reach for your bolster or cushions, go ahead and do so. And we're going to use our bolster for Sphinx pose today. Coming onto our bellies and bringing the bolster right under the rib cage. I love this version of Sphinx because it really allows us to find, I think, the right amount of relaxation and stress in the posture, like positive stress as well as softness. So I have my bolster right under my rib cage and the belly. And then your elbows are under your shoulders or just a little bit in front. You can spread your fingers here. And then think of lengthening the spine. So lengthen out of that spine like we did at the start of class. As if someone could pull a cord from the crown and begin to lengthen here. Tucking the chin in towards the back of the neck. And belly can soften here. We can soften the belly right into the bolster. Really releasing the low back unless it's feeling very compressed. And if that's the case, just tuck the tailbone a little bit, engaging the abdominals to take that pull out of the lower back. You can also widen the feet slightly, and that may change the compression in the low back for you. It may feel a little more easeful. Now we stay in this discomfort, right? We stay in this position of slight discomfort for another minute or so. Breath guiding us. Here into the rib cage with the liver and gallbladder on the right side. You can bring your mind's eye there. And we are done, Sphinx. Let's take an inhale and exhale. Here, just begin to walk the elbows back, push up onto the knees. Come to tabletop for a moment. Reach for a block for your head. You may want it for your head, maybe not. And then sliding the bolster down for your hips. So we're sliding the bolster to take our hips, coming back down onto the bolster, and bending the knees. We're setting up for either tadpole or frog here. So we can bring the knees out with the feet under the knees, right? In line with the knees. And this is sort of frog pose. The head can rest on the block. Option to take the feet together if you prefer that option. My body doesn't love that, so I'm just taking a frog. And of course, we don't have to be in this ideal yogic shape here, right? We know that now. So we're just opening into the hips, into the groin. You may want to rest your head on the back of your hands if the block isn't feeling great. stable surface beneath us, being held by the bolster, feeling that comfort of the bolster under the pelvis. And the liver and gallbladder really set up those organs and the meridian lines and the muscle groups associated with them, really set up the pelvic bowl and connected to the compression in the SI joints. So just feel how supported your pelvis is here on this bolster. And then your whole body is supported by the earth. About another 30 seconds here. And then bring in that next inhale a little deeper. And exhale, begin to slide the feet back out, walking the legs back slowly. Really slowly, just giving the hips and the pelvis a chance to readjust here. And then we push up just enough to slide back slightly onto our right side. I think this is still looking like right side for you guys. I'm not sure, but we're on our right side. And the bolster is going to be under our waist here. And then lying down, you can again use a block for your head, or you can rest your head on your bottom arm. We're going to play around with leg positions here and arm positions, just checking in with the body, right? What shape you see me doing may not be what you want today. So options to extend the legs straighter or keep the knees bent. You can shift the top leg off and in front of the bottom leg. See if that feels better in your low back, in your hips. An option to bring the left hand in front of the face, planted in front of the face, or you can bring it over the side of your head, over the left ear, and making little prayer hands here. That may not feel great in your shoulders, so stick with what is feeling good in your body, right? This is a really nice side opener, which we tend to only do otherwise in banana asana, really, to take the whole side opening like this. I enjoy having the bolster underneath the waist and just feeling gravity draw the whole body down here. And bring this opening through ribs. You may feel opening through the left hip flexor even. That feels really nice. And down the side of the body. Down the legs. Again, this is connecting with the gallbladder meridian.
Notice if there's tension in the shoulders. See if they can soften, slide down your back. And once again in the face. We're almost done on this side. Tracing that next inhale, bringing it into the low belly. Good, and on the exhale, begin to bend the knees, softening that edge. Slide the left hand back if it was extended so that it's in front of the face. Press into the hand, come up on the right elbow. Just come up to a seat for a moment and check out how that feels.
Connecting with left and right here. I feel opening, like the side of my face on the left side feels more relaxed. And so to take it to the other side, you guys can just flip around, or you can lift the bolster and bring it over to the left side. And then situating the bolster under the waist, coming down to the side, sinking down to the left elbow, beginning with knees bent. And then exploring with the legs, lengthening them, seeing if you want to stack the feet or stagger that top leg. And again, checking in with the shoulders. Maybe you take prayer hands on this side or maybe not. If not, just let the right hand support you in front of your face. Feel the side ribs really blooming here with every breath, really opening up. Maybe noticing the opening in the back as well as the side and the front. Sending the breath to any areas that are more obvious to you, or kind of speaking to you right now. And always adjusting if at any point something's not feeling great, adjusting the position. We find stillness, but not at the expense of pain, of course. Not at the expense of causing trouble for ourselves tomorrow. We want to feel good after this. Almost done. The next breath moves deeper. And on your exhale, begin to bend the knees,
softening that edge in the lower body. And sliding the right hand off the left if it's extended long, bringing it in front of the face. And now slowly pushing into the right hand, the left elbow. It's the hardest part, I know. Coming back to a seat, closing your eyes, just connecting with any little, sensations, any warmth, tingles. Good. Now we set up that bolster for a goddess pose, supported goddess pose on our back. So we're going to be coming to the bolster with the back body at the edge of the bolster, and then I'm bringing the blocks for my thighs as well. So we're going to set that up so that we get a chest opening and hip opening with nice support here. So finding that bolster right at your low back, and then coming back onto the bolster. I think this is my favorite yin posture, right? You guys see this one a lot. And then opening the legs up. And I'm gonna catch my blocks on their high height here. There's actually an acupressure point, again for the gallbladder, that is right about at that spot where when you open your legs and the blocks catch the legs, and it feels rather sensitive, right? It does feel like, ooh, we feel that spot. That's an acupressure point, acupuncture spot for the gallbladder. So you can do that, or you can allow the blocks to catch your knees. And then opening the arms out, maybe a little lower towards the legs, or maybe at a T shape, or maybe cactus, not overdoing that. Noticing if the stretch is really going into the shoulder joint, and finding a more sustainable edge. And here we feel the soles of our feet together here. Feet keeping us so grounded. Really the base of our stability on earth, right? Our feet. So feel the soles of the feet connecting and appreciating what they do for us every day. We do certainly take those things for granted when we're not paying attention to them. And then noticing this nice opening in the legs for the liver here, inner thighs. While we have this little pressure point for the gallbladder on the outside. Feeling the breath moving in the front, soft lifts of the chest. Seeing if you can sense the breath as it's moving into the back, into the bolster. And the arms are open here. We are connecting with the heart meridian in this posture. The heart meridian runs on the underside of the arm and the armpit and down the arms to the pinkies. Stay with how stable, how settled you feel here now. Bringing your mind's eye to that groundedness that you're feeling in the posture. All of those points really where you're making contact with your body, like the base of the feet, or with the floor. Maybe shuffling your attention from one spot to the other.
connecting with each of those very supported, stable points. Stay with it for another 30 to 40 seconds. If their arms are feeling tingly, just begin to slide them down towards the waist for the remainder of the posture. Good. Nice full inhale now. On your exhale, slide your hands down to the undersides of your legs where they're meeting the blocks and just begin to lift them back up. Feet plant on the mat. Take a moment to shift out of this posture because we were in that one for a while. So moving the blocks away and then shifting to either side to roll off the bolster very gracefully, make our way back to our backs and move the bolster out of the way as well. We're going to do a little somatic movement so things aren't in your way there. And then feeling the back body on the floor now, how it feels after that posture. Sometimes there's a slight dullness, a little achy feeling. Just let that subside. Good, and now extending the left leg long, keeping the right knee bent and the right foot on the mat. Bringing your arms out to the side with palms on the floor. We're going to be sweeping, dropping that knee over the left leg and then repeating on the other side. So on an inhale, prepare, and then exhale, begin to roll onto the inner side of the right foot, dropping that knee over the left and lifting up the seat, taking a little arch in the back, like a semi-twist, a little twist here. And then rolling back through center, inhaling. And then exhale once again, rolling onto the inner side of the foot, and the knee drops over, little arch in the back. And inhale. Exhale, rolling onto the inner side of the foot, the left knee, right knee twists over the left leg, and now begin to look out over the right fingertips, or just turn the head. You don't have to open your eyes. And then exhale, back through center. Inhale, exhale, right knee drops over, arching back. Beginning to look out over the right fingertips, or turning the head, and rolling back through center, taking a nice inhale. One more time on that side. Dropping the knee over, arching back, head turns over the right hand, and sliding back through center. Good. Pause here. Bend Bend the left knee, lengthen the right leg. Take an inhale and exhale. Another inhale. And then exhale, rolling onto the inner edge of the left foot now and letting the left knee begin to drop over the right, just the knee. And inhaling back through center. And exhale, rolling onto the inner side of the foot. Little arch of the back. Nice big inhale as we come through center. And exhale, rolling. Left knee drops, and this time begin to turn the head over to the left. And inhale back through center. And exhale 2 more times, dropping that left knee over the right leg, a little arch in the back, looking out over that left hand. Feels good, right? It's like a little unwinding, really gentle and soothing for the nervous system. Last time, inhale, and then exhale, left knee takes a little twist, looking out over the left hand, arching the back. Coming back through center. Good. Pause here, bent knee for a moment. And then extend the left leg long. We set up for shavasana. If you want to reach for a blanket, do so. Adjusting the arms so that the palms are facing up at your side. Legs are nice and wide. I'm going to turn down the lights and put on some music. Just get situated and feel the heaviness of your body now. Nice and kind of groggy you feel. Groggy and grounded. Just let that sink into the mat.
And breath is smooth and steady. Allowing the eyes to roll back and be nice and soft. And maybe parting the teeth so the jaw can drop. And enjoy your shavasana.
back to your space. Noticing how your body feels right now and just appreciating that for another brief moment. And then beginning to move around, just natural movements, taking deeper inhales, and just moving the body as it wants to move. And taking a deeper inhale now. And then shifting off to your left side in fetal for a couple of breaths. No rush. And pushing into that right hand to come up to a seat. Maybe eyes are still closed. And we come to a close together, bringing our hands in front of that heart, feeling the beat underneath our thumbs. And reminding ourselves to connect with the stability in our unstable or unstable times, finding those moments for ourselves. And I thank you for joining today and send you many blessings. Namaste.